Across the natural world, animals build structures so precise, complex, and effective that they seem almost impossible. In northern Australia, a male great bowerbird begins not with a nest, but with a carefully engineered courtship stage. He raises two parallel walls of twigs, creating a narrow avenue that controls exactly what a visiting female sees. By arranging smaller objects nearby and larger ones farther away, he creates forced perspective that reshapes the female's view. From inside the avenue, the female judges both architecture and performance before deciding whether its builder deserves her attention. Thousands of kilometers away, another architect does more than attract a mate. The beaver redesigns an entire river. By anchoring branches across the current, the beaver creates a flexible barrier strong enough to resist moving water. Branches form the frame while mud, stones, and vegetation seal the gaps, slowing the stream into a protected pond. Inside the pond, a lodge of sticks and mud hides, dry chambers reach through entrances beneath the water. By slowing the stream, the dam expands shallow water, reconnects floodplains, and creates new habitat far beyond the lodge. On African savannas, millions of tiny builders raise earthen towers without a foreman, blueprint, or centralized command. Each worker carries a moist soil pellet, but local humidity and existing surfaces help determine where construction continues. As sunlight warms the mound unevenly, daily temperature changes drive air through its hidden network of internal passages. Workers collect dead grass and wood, carrying the raw material toward chambers buried safely deep beneath the mound. Inside, Termitomyces fungus breaks down tough plant matter, turning the colony's architecture into a remarkable living agricultural system. A male barely 10 centimeters long begins shaping a circular nest almost 20 times wider than his own body. By repeating simple swimming paths, he carves radial valleys and raises the ridges that define the outer ring. Fine sand gathers at the center, while shell fragments decorate the peaks and complete his underwater courtship arena. A visiting female studies the symmetry, fine central sand, and decorated ridges before choosing whether to spawn here. Once spawning ends, the female departs, while the male remains alone to guard and aerate the developing eggs. In southern Africa, sociable weavers combine thousands of grass stems into one enormous home, shared across many generations. Each entrance leads to a separate chamber, allowing many families to breed and roost within one shared structure. Colony members continually add fresh grass, repairing weathered sections, and keeping their enormous communal home structurally secure. Thick layers of grass buffer desert extremes, keeping inner chambers cooler by day and warmer through cold nights. Expanded and repaired for generations, a single nest becomes shared infrastructure, sheltering an entire colony through changing desert seasons. Across North American grasslands, prairie dogs transform open ground into towns connected by extensive networks of underground burrows. Excavated soil forms raised entrance mounds, giving sentinels clearer views while helping keep rainwater away from tunnels. Using powerful foreclaws, each prairie dog excavates soil and maintains the entrances connecting the surface to deeper shelter. Below ground, branching burrows create separate spaces for resting, raising young, escaping predators, and surviving extreme weather. Their digging reshapes vegetation, and leaves shelter for burrowing owls, making prairie dogs true ecosystem engineers. Beneath East Africa, naked mole rats construct kilometer-scale tunnel systems linking nest chambers, food stores, toilets, and foraging routes. Workers cut compact soil with protruding incisors, expanding passages while keeping their lips closed behind the digging teeth. Behind the digger, colony members sweep loosened soil backward, creating a coordinated underground conveyor that keeps tunnels clear. Roots and tubers discovered during excavation are carried into storage chambers, turning scattered underground food into shared reserves. At the colony's center, one queen and non-breeding workers share a nest chamber, coordinating life across the burrow. A solitary mud-dauber begins with wet soil, shaping one pellet at a time into a hardened nursery. At a sheltered surface, she presses each mud pellet into place, gradually raising the curved walls of one cell. Before laying her egg, she stocks the chamber with immobilized spiders that will feed the developing larva after hatching. Once the egg and food are safely inside, she seals the entrance with mud and begins another chamber. Repeated journeys create a cluster of sealed chambers, each becoming a hardened nursery, protecting one developing offspring inside. High in Borneo's rainforest, an orangutan selects a stable tree fork and begins constructing a fresh sleeping platform. She bends strong living branches inward, weaving them across the fork to create a flexible but load-bearing foundation. She adds smaller leafy branches above the foundation, creating a springy mattress that spreads her weight across the platform. Once complete, the layered nest supports her weight, while flexible foliage cushions movement high above the forest floor. Built rapidly and often used for one night, each platform reveals material selection, planning, and remarkable engineering skill. Across warm tropical seas, countless coral polyps build limestone colonies that gradually combine into structures visible across entire coastlines. Each colony contains thousands of connected polyps, tiny animals whose soft bodies live within protective cups of limestone. As living tissue adds new skeleton above older layers, generations of construction accumulate into the massive framework of a reef. The reef's branching framework creates shelter, feeding surfaces, and nursery habitat, supporting extraordinary diversity far beyond the coral colony. From twigs and mud to living stone, animal architecture reshapes habitats and proves extraordinary engineering needs no human blueprint.